Back then it was about $100+ per Bitcoin. Today it's 9,000. Is it still rat poison?
Well, probably rat poison squared.
I'm Darren, and today we're going to be debating Warren Buffett and his sidekick, Charlie Munger, and why he's been oh so wrong about Bitcoin so far, and how more people own Bitcoin than his own company shares.
So what factors caused you to say that it's a bubble?
If you had bought gold at the time of Christ, and you figure the compound rate on it, it may be a couple tenths of 1%, is not going to deliver anything other than supposed scarcity, because you can only mine so many. But so what? I mean, what does it produce itself?
So Warren Buffett likes to attack Bitcoin by calling it a non-productive asset. And what that essentially means is it's not a business, or it's not like a farm that you can regularly get income from. It's somewhere to store your wealth. And when he talks about gold, he said, yeah, gold has only appreciated 1.something% since Christ. But if you owned gold since that, it has not lost its value. If you owned any other dollars in history, they have all gone to zero. Gold, for a long time, has been the best store of value, so I could store my money in it, and it will stay the same over a specific time frame. That's because there's a short supply, it's scarce. Bitcoin has come around and become the ultimate non-productive asset, as it is more scarce, easily transferable. Pretty much it's gold that you can teleport across the world. Not only stores its value, it has increased 200% on average per year. So that's what non-productive assets do. They allow you to store your wealth, because a lot of us, not really business savvy, can't afford giant businesses that make us profits each month. We just need some cash to hold, keep its value, stay steady.
The check is a wonderful idea. Just imagine how the world would be without being able to write checks or have wire transfer of funds. But it doesn't make the check intrinsically itself worth a lot of money.
Yes, I can imagine a world without checks or wire transfers. Checks take days for my money to be available. Wire transfers cost me money, are absolute pain to deal with the online banking systems. I could imagine a world where I can literally send somebody money in Nepal, they receive it within 1 hour, and the deal's done. So yeah, I can imagine a world that can do that. And Bitcoin is not just money, it's a way to transfer that money. It's one layer where if you're transferring money, you got to go through the money system that's been created by the government, the banks, and then their system that have been built on top of that banks to send it around the world. It's like 3 different levels you got to go through before you can actually send that funds. Bitcoin is an all-in-one system, so yes, I can totally imagine a world without checks and without wires. God, it'd be so much easier.
I think that anytime you buy a non-productive asset, you are counting on somebody else later on to buy a non-productive asset because they think they can sell it to somebody for more money. And it's been tried with tulips, and it's been tried with various things over time, and it does come to a bad ending.
Tulips at one time were money, I believe it was in the Netherlands, and there's many properties of tulips that weren't really great. Bitcoin is not tulips. Tulips have a lot of different properties that Bitcoin doesn't have. You can plant as many tulips as you want. They don't last very long. They're not easily transferable from person to person. How do you judge one tulip to another? Whereas Bitcoin is scarce, there's only 21 million. You can easily verify all the transactions. All the coins are the same. You can verify somebody owns that Bitcoin. You can verify transactions coming to you. So Bitcoin is clearly not tulips, and so don't ever let anybody make that argument.
In the end, you make your money out of productive assets. If you buy a farm, you try to estimate what the crops, what amount per acre of soybeans or corn or whatever may be raised, and how much you have to pay the farmer that farms it for you, and what your taxes will be, and various things. And you make a conclusion based on what the asset itself will produce over time. And that's an investment.
Talking about his non-productive real estate asset. Now only guys like Warren Buffett or anybody who's close to that money printer can afford real estate that produces all that money. I don't see a lot of millennials around here buying giant plots of land. This is due to the wealth inequality that exists today.
When you buy something because you're hoping tomorrow morning you're going to wake up, and the price will be higher, you need more people coming into it than are leaving, and you can get that, and it will feed on itself for a while, and sometimes for a long while, and sometimes to extraordinary numbers. But in the end, they come to bad endings. And
it is true that you're going to have to find somebody that believes in it more than you. Luckily, there is millions of people around the world who do believe that Bitcoin is worth something. The world needs hard assets to grow, and Bitcoin is just the best hard asset we have today.
You also have the problem that it draws in a lot of charlatans and that sort of thing who are trying to create various sorts of exchanges or whatever it may be. It's something where people who are of less than stellar character see an opportunity to clip people who are trying to get rich because their neighbor's getting rich buying this stuff that neither one of them understands. It will come to a bad ending. Charlie?
So I do agree with Warren Buffett, and you should think about his words. He talks about charlatans and people who want to clip profits out of this Bitcoin. So we know that Bitcoin is a great asset and people around the world are trying to get it. But these other people who want a piece of the pie are out there, whether these are scammers or other people who have created other types of cryptocurrency that are better than Bitcoin. Even other YouTubers out there are like, this coin is great, invest in DeFi, invest in this. All 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 coins have trended down when you measure it against Bitcoin's price. Next, we move on to his right-hand man, Charlie Munger. Nothing says health like a Diet Coke.
Of course I hate the Bitcoin success.
So right away, he doesn't give you any reason why Bitcoin's bad. He just says, I hate the Bitcoin success.
I don't welcome a currency that's so useful and
A currency so useful, he admitted it right there.
to kidnappers and extortionists and so forth.
But you know what the number one currency is for domestic terrorism, drug dealing? That's right, the US dollar. You know all the other shady things that have been done with the US dollar.
It is the best $3 billion investment we make. Were there not an Israel, the United States of America would have to invent an Israel to protect her interest in the region. The United States would have to go out and invent an Israel.
Nor do I like just shuffling out a few extra billions and billions and billions of dollars to somebody who just invented a new financial product out of thin air.
He hates the idea of people giving up billions of dollars to somebody who's created a financial product. And that's the beauty of Bitcoin. Nobody owns it. Nobody knows who the owner is. It is a collective, decentralized asset.
I think I should say modestly that I think the whole damn development is disgusting and contrary to the interests of civilization.
Giving people financial freedom of a hard asset that can't be deceived or printed into oblivion is against civilization. I don't know, Charlie. I don't know. I think you're really close to that money printer, and you do not want to see your monopoly go away anytime soon. If you like this video, I've made other videos on debating Kevin O'Leary, the Wolf of Wall Street, and other videos on how to buy Bitcoin, how to store Bitcoin properly, and thanks for watching.